All right, today we are diving deep into the real estate market in Columbia, Missouri. If you're looking to buy or sell a home there, we're going to break down the latest data from January 2026 to figure out what's really going on. So yeah, if you're even thinking about making a move in Como, this is probably the big question rattling around in your head. Is it a buyer's market? A seller's market? Are we talking crazy bidding wars? Or is there actually some room to breathe? Well, you're in the right place, because that's exactly what we're about to unpack.
And this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. It perfectly captures the vibe of the Columbia market right now. The best word for it is balanced. It's this middle ground, which, means there are some real opportunities, but also some challenges, no matter which side of the table you're on.
Okay, let's get into the fun stuff, the data. To really get a grip on this market, we gotta look at the numbers. And what's super interesting here is we're looking at two different sets of data, and they each tell a slightly different story, which actually gives us a much fuller picture of what's happening. So check this out. On one side, you've got Redfin's data showing a median price around $334,000 with some pretty strong year-over-year growth, but it also says homes are sitting for about 70 days. Then you look at Zillow. They've got a slightly lower median price at $312,000, slower growth, but get this, homes are moving in just 35 days. So what does that tell us? It means the market's speed and price can look really different depending on where you get your numbers, which just reinforces that balanced, kind of less predictable feel. Let's zero in on that median sale price for a second. At about $334,000, that's a pretty healthy jump from this time last year. It's a clear signal that demand in Columbia is still really solid, and it's keeping those property values strong. And this number, 70 days on the market, is so important. This is not the crazy listed on Friday and it's gone by Sunday market we saw a few years back. This pace gives buyers a chance to actually think and gives sellers a much more realistic timeline. It's another sign of that balance we've been talking about. Of course, you can't have a housing chat without talking about mortgage rates. Sitting around 6.2%. They've eased up a little, which is definitely some good news for buyers. But let's be real, they're still high enough that affordability is a huge piece of the puzzle you have to solve when you're budgeting for a home. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The Columbia market isn't just one single thing. It's really two different markets split by price. Homes that are listed for under $400,000, they're in the fast lane. That's where the biggest pool of buyers is. But the second you cross that $400K line, the game changes, the buyer pool gets smaller, and things just tend to move a bit more slowly. Okay, so keeping all that data in mind, let's switch gears and build the ultimate seller's playbook. If you're putting your house on the market in Columbia right now, how do you win? In a balanced market like this, you can't just stick a sign in the yard and wait for the offers to roll in. Nope, you've got to be strategic. Here are your first 3 keys to success. Number 1 is pricing, and trust me, we're going to come back to that one. But just as crucial is how your home looks and feels. Making it seem move-in ready can make a world of difference. And being proactive with a pre-inspection, that takes a lot of the guesswork away for buyers and can stop your deal from falling apart at the last minute. I really want to pause on this because if you take away one thing as a seller, this is it. In a market that isn't scorching hot, overpricing your home is the absolute fastest way to guarantee it's going to sit there for months. The key is to work with an expert, look at the recent sales, and price it right from the get-go. And last but not least, let's talk timing and your team. Yeah, selling in the winter might seem like a bad idea, but think about it. There's way less competition, and the buyers who are out there are serious. And hiring a local agent who lives and breathes the Columbia market, that's not just a suggestion, it's pretty much essential if you want to get top dollar. All right, let's flip the script. What if you're on the other side of the deal? What's your game plan as a buyer? The good news is you have a little more breathing room than buyers did a few years ago, but that doesn't mean you can just wander in. You still need a rock-solid strategy to get the right home without overpaying. Before you even start scrolling through listings, these 2 things are totally non-negotiable. Getting pre-approved for a mortgage isn't just about figuring out your price range. It's about walking up to a seller and showing them you're a serious, ready-to-go buyer. And your budget has to be about the total cost, not just the price tag. The taxes, insurance, all of it. So what is a pre-approval really? Honestly, it's your golden ticket. It's a letter from a lender that says, yep, we've looked at their finances and we're ready to lend them this much money. When a seller sees that letter attached to your offer, they know you mean business. Okay, Once your money is sorted, your search comes down to two things: focus and flexibility. You've got to know your absolute must-haves, but be open-minded about the rest. You know, a house that just needs a coat of paint could be an incredible deal. And just like for sellers, having a great local agent in your corner is your biggest advantage for finding the best listings and making a winning offer. So, we've dug through the data, we've laid out the seller's playbook, and we've built the buyer's game plan. Let's bring it all home and boil it down to the absolute must-know takeaways for anyone trying to make a move in the Columbia market right now.
You know, when you strip it all down, it's pretty simple. For sellers, it's all about what you can control, the price you list at, and the condition of your house. Nail those two things and you're set up for success. And for buyers, it's all about being prepared. That means getting your financing locked in and being patient. The right house will pop up and you'll be ready to jump when it does. And that really brings us to the final question you should be asking yourself. In a market like this, one that isn't soaring or crashing, but is just steady, the choice to move or to wait becomes way more personal. The real question isn't just about timing the market anymore. It's about your own life, your own goals, and what the right move is for you right now.
Call Blue Spruce Realty in Columbia, Missouri